Hey there, Kenneth here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I just want to let you know this YouTube channel is created for those of you who never had a mentor growing up in life and really want to make a success of your life, whatever area that means in your life or whatever success means for you. Now, the other thing about this channel, it's not going to be some highly edited or polished videos, but really just me talking to you and sharing with you teaching lessons as if you were sitting with me here in my office or maybe at home. And I was just giving you some advice and coaching and sharing with you some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. So, in today's video, I want to speak to you about the 5 things that getting Lyme disease and losing everything taught me. So, let's start with number 1, right? Challenge will happen in your life, whether you like it or not. You might have this big plan for your life. Everything might be going according to plan or working out well for you. But you best be ready for some form of challenge to come. That might be a health challenge, a financial challenge, a relationship challenge, a career challenge, a economic, whatever it is. It could be the loss of a loved one or somebody cheating on you or somebody that you care deeply for is sick or has some other challenges that affects you, or might be toxic relationships at work, home, etc. Challenge will happen. And so for me, just quickly, is I came to America to pursue my American dream, which I started off with, and I rose right to the top, coming from pretty poor background growing up in South Africa. But I got to this place where my American dream turned into my nightmare, American nightmare, because in 2008, I ended up getting sick with Lyme disease. I just left my investment banking job with in a very, very good financial position. I thought I had my financial future taken care of for the most part, and I ended up losing everything. I couldn't work for 5 years. The financial crash came along, and everything crumbled, and I lost everything. And I went from this big positive asset value to being almost 500K in debt. So that was a very difficult time, but that's nothing compared to what other people have gone through. A lot of people have gone through other much worse challenges than me, and everything's relative, right? But the thing that I had to learn from that is what I was trying to control everything during that period. I was still trying to sort of fight this thing and looking for the magic pill. And what I had to realize is I had to embrace a mindset that allowed me to grow, to start looking at things differently and saying, okay, what can I actually learn from this? And how can I be more patient, pay attention, and what is the situation going to help me with in terms of being a human being, in terms of being a partner, and my journey in life? And so, really, what that is a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. And so, I had to be open to all sorts of different medical opportunities or medical diagnosis or medical paths, and not just follow one path and say this is the only way. I had to be open to other people's ideas. Although I was very stubborn in the beginning, it took me a few years to start opening my beliefs, opening up my mind, and what was possible. So if you embrace that sort of growth mindset, it helps you to grow. It helps you to become a better person. Now, if you were looking at me, you'll think, well, how can this guy be growing? Because his bank account's gone backwards. In fact, it's gone negative, and his health's not great. So how can he be growing? Well, it taught me a lot about my own ego. It helped me mentally, it helped me emotionally, and it helped me grow spiritually, which then impacted my physical health, which allowed me to heal. The second thing that I really learned from this, and this is a complete change in gears from sort of the mindset and spirituality kind of thing to having multiple sources of income. You see, I went the traditional route and I worked my way up. Like I said, came from poverty. I couldn't go to college, regular college. So I had to work during the day and do part-time college at night. So I ended up getting 2 degrees. I got my bachelor's and then I got a master's in economics. And I made my way into banking, worked in London and worked in Wall Street here in the US. And so at one stage, I was managing $1 billion worth of risk or assets. So I had reached not the highest level, but I'd reached a good level where I was getting paid great bonuses. I didn't really have any debt apart from one home. Everything else was paid for. But what it made me realize is, even though I had this cash in the bank, even though I had my stocks, my 401k and pension and everything, it doesn't take very long for the right condition to come along to wipe out everything. And what I realized is I only had one source of income. And when you're reliant on one source of income, you're a heartbeat away. You're 1, 2, or 3 months, most people, away from financial trouble. For me, I was fortunate enough, even though everything was going down, the equity in my home, my shares halved in value, I had to cash in my 401k, etc., pay for all my medical expenses, all of these things. I got through about 2 years before I really started getting into trouble, right? So um, the biggest lesson is that you have to start looking right now. And in today's world, there is no excuse. You can jump on the YouTubes, you can listen to podcasts and start with something that interests you and start making that extra money on the side, right? To have a different source of revenue. I don't expect too much in the beginning, but even if you start off with making an extra $10 per month, hey, that's a win. So pursue it and make sure that it can grow and grow and grow. And then maybe your part-time becomes your full-time, or it becomes an additional source of income, so you're not reliant on that one source of income. The third thing, which is going back to the sort of the mindset, is you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of all those things when a challenge comes along that you want the present to be like the past, or the past baggage that is carrying you down in the present. So let's unpack that for a sec. Well, when life is going pretty good, is you can, and then you have this big challenge with financial health, whatever, you might have the propensity to start looking back and saying, hey, my life was so great there. I want to be healthy again. I want to do this. I wish I had all that. If you're living in the past, you're not able to move forward. So you have to let go of the past. And the only way to do that is by, again, it's sort of the first principle by embracing that growth mindset, is opening up your mind to new possibilities. You've got to let go not only of the past, but you're essentially letting go of who you are right now. You're growing. You're sort of shedding your skin. You're peeling away that layer and saying, hey, that doesn't serve me well. And quite often, it's going to bring to the surface all your insecurities. It's going to bring to the surface all your fears and limited beliefs. And you're going to have to start seeing things in a different way. And it's the same thing as when you're carrying that past baggage from past hurt, past trauma into the future. That's what's crushing you now. That's what's keeping you stuck. And in order to move forward into growth and prosperity and abundance, you're going to have to let go of the past. The other thing that I learned is I always saw myself as, hey, not very strong, or not, you know, nothing special. But it's actually amazing when you actually put under sort of the trigger and in the press, is how much you can actually overcome in your life. It's actually incredible, the resilience that we have when we don't in the beginning. Look, I was asking and looking for help wherever. I just wanted that pill, that doctor, somebody to come save me. And then I realized they weren't coming to save me, and I had to take care of myself. Okay. So you actually realize this. I look back and I thought, I don't know how I got through that. And, I look back to my periods in my life when my mom, when my father passed away when we were young, and she was left with 8 kids and with no money, literally, and she didn't have a job. If I look back now, how she got through like a period of about 2.5 years in that situation, I don't know. I don't know how she did it, but she never complained. She never whined. I only saw her break down once in my entire life, and that's just as the strength of that woman. But I had to remind myself that about that. It's like, wow, you can actually overcome more than you think. So you'll be surprised. And that's what I mean by really getting to learn and know about yourself in much deeper ways. If you allow these challenges, if you allow these negative events in your life to actually, instead of them being a burden, actually start to see them as a gift. And the final thing that I really learned, which became important, is in life is to pursue things that you truly love and that you truly have passion for, right? So it doesn't mean that, hey, you might be, for example, I love surfing and I love like photography. And surfing is one of my biggest passions, but it's not a career that I want to pursue. I'll never be a professional surfer. I've passed that age, so I have to be a realist about that. But Also, it's not something that I'd want to do. I just have a deep passion for that and the ocean and the water. And that's where I spend my time, and I'm comfortable with that. But I have other areas of passion so that I can pursue. But for so long in my life, I pursued careers in that just to be rich, just to make money. And that led to unhappiness. That led to internal strife. But also, what I find is from a healing perspective or growth perspective, when you're in this time of challenge, it is much easier when you're waking up in the morning and you have something of interest to you. You're doing something that has passion to you. Now, obviously, I couldn't work. Of those of you who are ill, that passion might be just connecting to spirit, to God, or whatever you want to call it, or practicing yoga or meditation. And you might not be able to do that, but maybe it's reading, maybe it's learning deeper. Those are all my passions. But I think from in your personal life and in your work life, it is so important to get as close as you can to following something that you have a deep passion for. So it may or may not be your purpose, but something that really interests you, that you can be truly yourself. Because what you'll realize is that you spent so much time of the good years, of the good relationship periods, or the good health, or the good finances, doing stuff and spending so many hours of stuff that you didn't enjoy. And then it's only when that stuff has taken away your health or your finances or stuff, and you think, why did I spend so long there pursuing this thing that really had no meaning to me? So, anyway, those are the 5 things that I wanted to share with you that I learned from my main struggle in my life. And look, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find it valuable. And if you like this video, please leave your comments, share with me your struggles or anything that you've overcome or anything that you need help with. And if you can, like, subscribe, it'll be fantastic. I really appreciate you, and see you in the next video. Take care.